What's going on, guys? How are you? In this video we're going to start with a new chapter, that is electric charges and fields. So this video will cover all the notes of this chapter. So let's start with the video. Okay, so first of all, electric charge. Sorry about the page flipping. Charge is an intrinsic property associated with the elementary particle of a matter due to which it produces and experiences electric and magnetic effect. Benjamin Franklin introduced two types of charges, namely positive charge and negative charge, based on the fractional statical electricity produced by the rubbing them, unlike objects such as amber and wood. Sorry. Transference of electron is caused by a frictional electricity. Its SI unit is coulomb. Its CDS unit are electrostatic unit, that is ESU, stat coulomb, and electromagnetic unit, that is EMU or ABC or ab coulomb. As you can see, all the values: 3 into 10 to the power 9 stat coulomb. 1 coulomb equals to 3 into 10 to the power 9 stat coulomb. Conductors and insulators. Those substances which readily allows the passage of electricity through them are called conductors. Example: metals. Whereas those substances which offer high resistance to the passage of electricity are known as insulators. Example: plastic rod or nylon. Basic properties of electric charges. There are some basic properties of electric charges. Additivity of electric charge. Charges are scalar and add up they add up like real numbers. It means if a system consists of n charges, q1, q2, q3 and so on qn, then the total number of charges will be q1 plus q2 plus so on plus qn, means summation of q1 charges. So this shows the additivity of electric charges. Conservation of electric charges. The total charge of an isolated system always remains conserved, that is, initial and final charge of the system will be same. Quantization of electric charges. Charges exist in discrete amount rather than continuous value, and hence they are said to be quantized. Mathematically, charge on an object is q equals to plus minus ne, where n is an integer and e, that we all know, electronic charge, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Coulomb's law, force between 2-point charges. It states that the electrostatic force of attraction or repulsion acting between two stationary point charges in vacuum is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. It is given by force equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon r square, where q1 and q2 are stationary point charges and r is the separation between them in air or in vacuum. 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught, the value of this is 9 into 10 to the power 9 Newton upon meter square into coulomb square. Epsilon naught equals to permittivity of free space, and the value for epsilon naught is 8.854. We can write till 8.854 into 10 to the power minus 12 coulomb square upon Newton meter square. So in vector form, force equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 upon modulus or the magnitude of radius whole square into direction of r. Absolute permittivity of medium. Dielectric constant. The force between two charges q1 and q2 located at a distance r in a medium other than free space may be expressed as force medium equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon into q1 q2 upon r square. where epsilon is the absolute permittivity of the medium. The ratio of the forces between two charges in vacuum to the force acting between when they are shifted in a medium is called relative permittivity of the medium, also known as dielectric constant of the medium. So epsilon upon epsilon naught equals to epsilon r, or relative permittivity. Electrostatic forces. These forces, Coulombian forces, are conservative forces. That is, the work done by these forces does not depend upon the path followed. Principle of superposition of electrostatic forces between multiple charges. The principle states that the net electric force experienced by a given charged particle cannot depend to the system of the charged particle is equal to the vector sum of the force exerted on it due to all the other charged particle of the system. The force between the two charges is not affected by the presence of other charges. So you can see the graph and the derivation. So the final value comes out to be force equals to Q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught summation of all the charges, means we are adding qi, the summation part, r naught minus r1 whole cube, the magnitude of it, and we are multiplying it in by r naught minus r1. So the difference of the radius we are multiplying it with. Okay. So let's go on the next topic, that is electrostatic force due to the continuous charge distribution. The region in which charges are closely spaced in a continuous manner is said to have continuous distribution of charge. It is of three types, that is linear charge distribution. Force on a charge due to the linear charge distribution along a line is given by the formula you can see. We are using integration to integrate all the charges on the line, so that we can find the total force. Okay, you can see the diagram. Now let's go to the surface charge distribution. Force due to surface charge distribution over plane surface is given by, you can see the formula. We are also integrating this one, but we are integrating this through small part, means we have taken a small area, that is ds, and we are integrating it to find the force of all the charged surface. As you can see in the diagram, it's clear, from the discharge, that is q naught. So volume charge distribution. Force due to volume charge distribution over a volume is given by, as you can see, we are doing the same. We are taking a small area, that is dV, and then we are integrating it. You can see, you can get a better figure in your mind when you will see this. As you can see, we take a small area or a chunk of the cube, and then we are integrating it to find the whole force that is done by the whole cube to the q naught charge. Okay. Electric field. The space around a charge in which its effect can be felt simultaneously. Sorry, my mistake. Was not able to read it correctly. Significantly, that is the area which produces attraction or repulsion forces on another charge is called electric field. Electric field intensity. The charge field intensity at any point due to the source charge is defined as the force experienced per unit positive discharge produced at produced. So as you can see, electric field equals to limit q naught approaching to 0 force upon q naught. So you can see SI unit of electric field intensity is Newton upon Coulomb. Electric field due to a point charge. Electric field intensity at point P is n upon 4 pi epsilon naught q upon r square into direction of r or r cap. So electric field due to the system of charges. Electric field due to a system of charges at a point is equal to the vector sum of the electric field produced by the individual charges. As you can see in the diagram, we are just applying summation and we are finding the electric field of the total positive charges. Okay, so electric field lines. Electric field lines are the way of picturing map of pictorially or imaginary. We are in an imaginary way. Imagine some lines that are moving from or into a charge, which is emitted or absorbed by the charge, respectively, to the. Okay, where was I? These lines start from the positive charge and end to the negative charge. So these lines are emitted by the positive charge and are absorbed by the negative charge, as you can see in the diagram properly. The tangent on these lines at any point gives the direction of the field. Electric field lines due to the positive and negative charges are their combination and shown below. So these are standalone charges, as you can see. This one is a plus q charge, this is a minus q charge. These are two plus q charges. So the electric field lines, repulsion, there's a force of repulsion, and here we are creating a dipole, as you can see. So the electric field lines are moving from plus q charge to minus q charge, as you can see, like this. Okay, so electric dipole. 2-point charges of equal magnitude and opposite in sign separated by a small distance from an electric dipole, example HCl, H2O, N2O, etc. molecules. So as you can see, we have shown you the diagram. We are seeing the diagram just a second before, and we saw that there were two charges with the same magnitude but different different signs. One was positive and the other was negative, and they were separated by a finite distance, so this forms a electric dipole. Electric dipole moment. The strength of an electric dipole is measured by a vector quantity known as electric dipole moment, you can see V, which is a product of the charges Q and separation between of the charges 2L. So this 2L is just to make a calculation easy. So we take this as a common distance between the charges. So electric dipole moment equals to 2LQ, and the SI unit is coulomb per meter. Coulomb meter, sorry. My mistake. Electric field to electric dipole. Electric field at a point on an axial line due to electric dipole. Electric field intensity at a point on axial line of the dipole at a distance r from center. The dipole is from the center of the dipole is given by the formula. As you can see, axial position formula, that is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q r upon r square minus l square whole square. So which comes out to be like this. This is our main formula. Electric field at a point on the equatorial line due to the electric dipole. So as you can see, electric field formula comes out to be 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught minus v upon r square plus l square upon the power, that is 3 upon 2. So this is our main formula. So let's move on to talk on an electric dipole placed in a uniform electric field. So consider a electric dipole consisting of two charges plus q and minus q placed in a uniform external electric field intensity E. The dipole makes an angle theta with the direction of the electric field, and the torque acting on the dipole is given by the formula tau equals to Pe sin theta, and in vector form we can say that torque equals to V into E. So here's the diagram which is giving a better look of how the works are moving. As you can see, the electric field lines are moving in this way. So let's move on to the sub forms of torque. Minimum torque is expressed by the electric dipole in electric field when theta equals to 0 degree or pi. Tau equals to tau minimum. So torque is minimum when when theta equals to 0. So this is the important line. MCQ type questions can be created on these types of questions. Maximum torque when sin theta equals to 1 or theta equals to pi by 2, tau equals to tau max equals to E. As we can say, the maximum torque is when the theta equals to pi by 2 or 90 degree. Dipole is a stable equilibrium in uniform electric field when angle between rho and in the electric dipole and the electric field is 0 degree, and is highly unstable equilibrium when angle equals to 180 degree. Okay. Work done and potential energy of electric dipole. When an electric dipole is placed in an electric field, then work is done in rotating it. Work done in for rotating the electric dipole from Q1 to Q2 is equals to P into cos theta 1 minus cos theta 2. So which comes out to be minus V into E, or minus electric dipole into electric field. Conditions. Work done in rotating the dipole from a position of stable equilibrium to unstable equilibrium, that is Q1 equals to theta, Q1 equals to 0 degree, and Q2 equals to pi. So work done equals to 2VE. So work done in rotating the dipole from the position of stable equilibrium to the position of when the dipole experiences maximum torque, that is Q1 equals to 0 degree and Q2 equals to 90 degree. So the formula equals to work done equals to PE. So here are first part of the notes of the electric field and charges end. So if you like this video and want to see more, be sure to smash the like button and get subscribed. It helps a lot. Thank you and have a nice day. Hope to see you in the next part. Bye. And of course, have a nice day. Bye bye. See ya.